have been some new information regarding some of the canceled plans for Roman Reigns, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's going on with the Miz, Dexter Lumis, and more. Let's start things off with the title split plans for Roman Reigns and the undisputed Universal Championship. So the big topic of discussion heading into Clash at the Castle a few months ago was how a split of Roman's undisputed title was imminent. It was reported that USA Network was allegedly fed up and wanted a world title back on their show. They were under the impression that Roman would make regular appearances on Raw after WrestleMania 38, but that hasn't been exactly happening. So that's when it was reported that a title split could be coming. Some fans even thought that's what happened to Solo Sikoa, planting some seeds and foreshadowing for Roman's fate. Solo was stripped of the North American title because he was no longer a full-time superstar on NXT. So taking that same mindset into consideration, fans thought that maybe Triple H would eventually come out and strip Roman Reigns of the WWE title, since he hasn't been fully featured on Raw in recent months. But that scenario hasn't happened so far. The report back then during late summer said that the undisputed title issue would be resolved near Survivor Series time, which is the time period we're in right now. So we'll have to see if anything happens here. WrestleVotes recently revealed that there were some scrap plans to address the undisputed title split back around Clash at the Castle. They claim that the main idea was to use Austin Theory's Money in the Bank contract to help split the title back up. Austin Theory would make it verbally clear that he was cashing in for only one title. Theory would cash in during the Clash at the Castle main event, turning the one-on-one match for the undisputed Universal title into a triple threat match for only the WWE title. Tyson Fury would still get involved, and Drew McIntyre would have pinned Austin Theory to win only the WWE Championship. So under this idea, you can take care of this undisputed title problem by Roman Reigns losing one of his titles due to the triple threat rules. Drew McIntyre would take the WWE title back to Raw, and Roman would remain on Smackdown as the Universal Champion. But apparently not everyone was on board with this idea, and you can sort of see why they weren't fully sold on this idea. The first issue with the idea was Theory only wanting to cash in on one title. In reality, we obviously know why Theory would cash in for one title. But in the storyline world, why would Austin Theory pass up on the opportunity to have two world titles and just take one instead? That doesn't make much sense, and it's not a logical decision at all for the character. And the second big issue with this canceled idea was how Austin Theory's cash-in would have fully changed what was at stake with the match. They go from two titles being on the line to a triple threat match where only one title's on the line, all because the Money in the Bank contract holder said so. So you can really see why WWE eventually scrapped the idea. Although this would have definitely resolved their undisputed world title issue, there was just way too many plot holes with this sort of scenario going down. If Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman were able to pull strings behind the scenes and sort of nerf the power of the Money in the Bank contract down to only being redeemable for one title, then maybe that could have been a good storyline explanation for Theory only cashing in for one title. But for Theory to actually have the option to go for two titles and he only goes for one, the audience was just gonna seriously question the character's decision making right there. It's sort of like what we're seeing right now with the real actual cash in for Austin Theory. He cashed in on the United States title when the option to cash in on the undisputed world title was still available. And that was the first thing that fans pointed out. Like, why didn't he try his luck and just cash in on Roman Reigns? Why settle for less? And that exact same thing would have been the issue with this canceled cash-in at Clash at the Castle. Why would Austin Theory settle for less and only go for one title? So the numerous story flaws is most likely why WWE scrapped this title split from happening at Crown Jewel. But still, if the story made sense and clicked in all the right places, it would have been nice to see Drew McIntyre at least win the WWE title at Clash at the Castle. Drew gets to have the WrestleMania 36 moment that he was robbed from, and Roman Reigns leaves the match completely unharmed. because he wasn't pinned and still has the Universal title. So it would have been a fun outcome that would have got a world title back to Raw, but it looks like the titles are still being split for the time being. Maybe there'll be a situation where Roman will start defending them one at a time, and if that's the case, then that does open up the door a bit more for the possibility to split up the world titles again. There was another big development in the Miz and Dexter Lumis' story. So it was Johnny Gargano who made the big reveal that the Miz was staging everything with Dexter Lumis. But of course, it was still a bit hard to just take Johnny's word for it and assume that he's telling the truth. So he came back with some more solid evidence about everything he was claiming about the Miz. He hired a private investigator to look into the situation and get information out of the Miz over a conversation. The Miz opened up the conversation by saying that Johnny Gargano was lying about everything he staged. But after the investigation slowly persuaded the Miz into telling the truth, he came clean and wanted to speak off the books. The Miz said that everything Johnny was saying was true. He was staging everything and paying Dexter Lumis off on the side. The Miz said that he only stopped because the heat was getting too intense. WWE corporate and the police were asking too many questions and getting too involved. So the Miz decided to pull the plug on the entire act. However, Dexter Lumis felt like he was still owed payments after Miz stopped paying. So that created the new legitimate conflict. Dexter Lumis still isn't signed to a WWE contract yet within the storyline. So he's still in a rough place and still needs these promised payments from the Miz. So the last few weeks have provided a huge plot twist to everything we previously knew about the story between Dexter Lumis and the Miz. Johnny Gargano gave the Miz several weeks to come clean and tell the truth, but after the Miz didn't do anything, Johnny took it into his own hands. He revealed the entire situation himself and was able to get the Miz to admit everything on a hidden camera. So now that the truth is out and it's confirmed to be true, it'll be interesting to see where this story goes next. The big reveal of the secret has definitely sparked new life and new possibilities into this storyline. So we'll see what it all leads to. Hopefully it doesn't get as dragged out as the first part of this storyline did. Hopefully it stays flowing and stays consistent. Maybe we'll see some big payoff at the end, such as Dexter Lumis getting a WWE contract to stay on Raw as a full-time competitor. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with the council plans for Roman Reigns and the Miz's storyline? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.